Hey everyone, my name is Stream, and in this video, we're going to be looking at how sucky, awesome the new Thorns Enchantment is. And now I also want to point out, Christmas skin. Now to test how quickly lava destroys the Thorns Enchantment, how awesome the Thorns Enchantment is and what a great addition it is to the Minecraft game, we're going to run through a series of tests. Now these tests may or may not include how many hits you need to take before killing a zombie, whether the amount of damage a mob inflicts on you determines how much damage is returned back to them, and how long it takes for me to beat the armor with a stick until it gives me back the money it owes me. Now for these tests I have made a little arena around here, outside the arena. We've got some chests here. These chests are basically for health and for mob eggs, and for more regeneration potions. So, inside the arena, Piggy, let's go! Let's show them. Hang on, I'll be right back. I am right back! We are inside the arena, and this is my little arena. I just thought I would show it off, because, you know, I'm going to be spending the rest of the video around here, basically. So the first test we're going to be conducting is how many hits you're going to have to take before killing a zombie. And we're going to test this with the Thorns 1, Thorns 2, and Thorns 3 enchantment, only with the diamond chest plate for this test though. Okay, so I'm just going to put my armor on, and now it looks a bit better because I tried this out before, and I forgot to turn it tonight, which was a pretty bad, dumb thing of me. Anyway, I've got some potions. I probably should actually get a regeneration potion. Where is that? There we go. And drink it. Now just go into my arena, and I'll be back with the results. Okay, so the results were for that test was I got hit 22 times until the zombie finally died. So that means that about each time I got hit, the zombie got hit 1 health point. So 1 health point was taken away from him. Because zombies have 20 health points, or about 10 hearts. But that doesn't mean that there were some times I got hit and the zombie didn't get hit. Because there were 11 times where I got hit but the zombie didn't. So if we take the amount of times that the zombie actually got hit, which was 11 times, we can find out that the amount of damage the Thorns does when the zombie gets hit is about 1 heart or 2 health points. But I don't want to stop it there because, you know, these could just be random results that we got. They could have just been out of the blue. So we're going to test it another 2 more times. So I did the test 2 more times, and the results were, for the first one, I got hit 28 times until the zombie died, and the zombie got hit 12 times in that. The second one was I got hit 23 times until the zombie died, and the zombie got hit 10 times. And if we average all those results, we can find out that on average, I got hit 24 times before the zombie died, and the zombie got hit 11 times. So, what does that mean to us? Well, it means the enchantment sucks. The Thorns enchantment is not a set amount of damage. It's not like it sucks. From this knowledge, we can also do other tests, and we'll get into that later. So, you can also see that from that test, my armor has gone down significantly. That was only like 4 zombies, by the way, because I did a test one before. So, you probably don't want Thorns. You really want Thorns. Yes, what? So the next test is we're going to test the enchantment out on different types of mobs. So, we're going to test it out on skeletons, see if it's different. We're going to also try it out on spiders. And we're also going to try it out on slimes, because I'm curious, and I've still got it on. Okay, so it's night time. I've got my armor on. I've drunk a regeneration potion that's worn off. Photoshop, let me get it. There we go. Okay, now to drink it, okay? And I've also got the skeleton spawning egg, so let's try it out and see if the skeleton is affected by it. I don't think it is. It's not looking like it is, which is kind of sucky. Not surprising, I was actually expecting this. So, we can put that in the list of mobs it doesn't work on. It seems as though it only works on melee attacks. Now it's time to test it on spiders. So let me just drink the regeneration potion. Okay, so I saved you guys the boredom of actually having to watch me do those tests. I did them off camera. So I tested it 3 times with the spiders, just like the zombies. And the first test, I got hit 12 times before the spider finally died. And the spider took 7 hits. In the second test, it was the same results. I got hit 12 times, and the spider got hit 7 times. In the third test, however, it was different. I got hit 8 times, and the spider got hit 6 times. So, it's pretty different to the zombies. Okay, so now we're going to test what it's like on slimes. So I'll just drink my regeneration potion again, like always, and spawn a slime. Okay, so I just tested it out on the slimes, and you'll never believe what results I got. I mean, they were amazing, by the way, I just want to point that out. Guess what? It doesn't work on slimes! I mean, how does that make sense at all, that it doesn't work on slimes? I do not get it. Okay, Dinnerbone, I know you don't watch my videos, but let's pretend you do for 1 second. Why? Just why? 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 I don't get it. I don't understand. Just no. So just what then do we find out from the tests on the spider, the skeleton, and the slime? Well, we find out that it doesn't work on all the mobs. We also find out that it further proves that the damage from the Thorns Enchantment isn't a set damage. And the results also say that the spider took slightly less hits to kill than the zombie, even taking into consideration the health differences between them, because the zombie has 20 health points and the spider has 16. Now, to figure out this, all you have to do is take the amount of health points a mob has, so the zombie has 20, and divide it by the amount of hits that it took, which is, for the zombie, is equal to 1.82, and for the spider is equal to 2.29. So in other words, that's the amount of damage they took per hit. However, since the difference between those two numbers is so insignificant, it's probably just because of the luck I had when battling them. So, you know, further testing is probably needed, and it probably will equate to just 2 for both of them. For the next test, we're going to find out what the difference between Thorns 1, 2, and 3 is. So, I've got Thorns 2 right now on, and we're going to use the results from the zombie from the previous test to compare them with the results we're going to get from the Thorns 2 test and the Thorns 1. So, let me just get the zombies out of here, and enter my arena, and spawn a zombie, and I'll be right back with the results. So I just got done getting the results for Thorns 2. I tested it out 3 times like we did with Thorns 1. And the results were laughable. Let's just go with that because they were horrible, okay? For the first test, I had to get hit 40 times before the zombie would die, and the zombie took 12 hits. For the second time, I had to take 49 hits from the zombie. Pretty bad. And the zombie had to take 13 hits. And the third time, I had to take 40 hits again, and the zombie took 11 hits. So, that's pretty horrible. I am not looking forward to what Thorns 1 has to offer. I forgot to mention the average for Thorns 2. The average was for me having to get hit. I had to get hit 43 times on average, and the zombie got hit 12 times on average. So let's test out Thorns 1, shall we? I'm going to need a lot of these, I can tell. I didn't want to do that, I wanted to do this. And I want to get some regeneration potions. And some more of this. Well, let's go! Let's test it out. I'm probably going to die a heap of times. So, I just tested Thorns 1, and if you thought Thorns 2 was bad, well, Thorns 1 is extremely, suicidal. Let's go with that. Okay, so, the first test I did, I had to get hit 84 times before the zombie would die, and the zombie was hit 12 times. The second test, I had to get hit 55 times, which was probably because of luck before the zombie would die, and the zombie had to get hit 11 times. And in the third test, I had to get hit 81 times before the zombie would die. And the zombie got hit 11 times. So the average of Thorns 1's results was I had to get hit 73 times on average before the zombie would die. And the zombie got hit 11 times on average. So, using the results of all the tests we've done with the different Thorns level enchantments, we can see that the only thing that changed between the levels was the amount of times I had to get hit before the zombie died. So, the amount of times I had to get hit before the zombie got hit. So, in other words, that means the higher the level, the more amount of experience you wasted. I mean, the higher the level, the higher the chance of the mob getting hit. The next thing we're going to test is, does the amount of damage inflicted on the player affect the amount of damage dealt to the mob? For example, if a zombie has a sword, would he take less hits to be killed with the enchantment than if he didn't have a sword? So to test this, I'm just going to spawn a zombie and give him a stone sword and see how many times it takes for him to be hit until he dies, and compare it to the results we got in the first test. So I'm just going to do that right now. So I just got done doing that test. I did it 3 times like normal, and the zombie had to be hit 12 times before it died. So if you remember back to the start of the video, in the first test we did with the zombie with Thorns 3, I'm still wearing it, the zombie had to be hit 11 times before it died. So it's basically the same number. So from this we can conclude that the Thorns Enchantment doesn't reflect a percentage of damage that's inflicted upon you. Instead, the amount of damage dealt to a mob is a random number. So next test we'll be doing, our final test by the way, is what mobs does it work on. Okay, so I've sorted the mobs we've already tested and the mobs I know it won't work on in these 2 chests. Now this chest is the one it won't work on, and this is the chest that it will work on. And now I'll just go through it. I know that the enchantment won't work on these ones because bats don't do any damage to you. Ghasts, well, that's pretty obvious. Creepers, you know, they only explode, so they're basically dead by the time. Witches, they throw potions, so it's not going to do that. And with the gas one, I kind of left that one, but basically it shoots fireballs, so yeah. Okay, so I've got the eggs in my inventory, and I've also got the blocks of iron and pumpkins here for the iron golems, and I'm going to test it out now. Cave spiders, yes. Endermen, yes. Silverfish, no. Zombie pigmen, yes. Wolves, no. Iron golems, no. Blaze, no. Magma cubes, no. So I've organized the chests again, this time with all of the mobs. Well, the hostile mobs to be exact. So, this is the chest that won't work with it. And this is the chest that will work with it. Oh, look at the number in this one. And the little bitty number in this one. So, there will also be a list of them in the description as well, if I'm bothered enough. And that pretty much wraps up all the tests. So, is the Thorns Enchantment worth it? Definitely not putting it in the bin, if I can get it. There we go. That's what you do when you get Thorns. I would also like to say that even getting Fortune on an axe is much better, because with Fortune, it doesn't drain the life out of your armor as much as this one does. I'd also like to say that instead of implementing Thorns into the game, they should have just added Twinkling Stars or Rainbow XP. So, because, you know, XP in one color is too mainstream and it's too boring. I want it in red as well, and blue, and every color. So, that pretty much wraps up the video. I don't know how to do outros. So,